A pleasant morning to one and all. I am Dr.R.BHUVANESWARI, Associate Professor of Home Science. Today, the topic of discussion is flower arrangement. It is taken from the paper Family Resource Management and Interior Design. Now, what is flower arrangement? So, when we enter into a house and we are greeted by the sight of fresh flowers and foliages which are attractively arranged, we at once know that we are in a home where beauty, hospitality, or a value point of gracious living. Now, the definition of flower arrangement. Flower arrangement may be defined as the art of organizing flowers, other plant materials, and receptacles into compositions having harmony of form, texture, and color. Now, merits of flower arrangement. We come to understand the decorative effect of flowers, right? Vivid flowers can accentuate a color scheme. For example, a bright color flower arrangement kept in a plain room or in a dull room can make the room bright. It can be also used to soften the severe architectural lines. It speaks of the homemaker's taste, interest, and talents. Now, flower arrangement helps to reflect the personality of the homemaker. It enhances the beauty of the place. For example, a flower arrangement which is kept at the entrance or the reception area or in a living area will enhance the beauty of that particular place. It produces a natural setting in the interior. It can emphasize a particular area. It brightens the atmosphere. Now, accessories in flower arrangement. Accessories used in flower arrangement are containers, pin holders, flowers, twigs, nails, thread, hammer, pebbles, etc. Now, flower holders. Flower holders play an important part in a flower arrangement. They are needed to keep the flowers in position. So the stems must be held firmly in place in a flower arrangement. So it is not possible to arrange well without some type of flower holder inside the container, which enables us to keep them where we want them. So pin holders, wires, twines, etc. can be used for this purpose. Now, selection of containers. The containers must be able to support the flower, should be of right size, shape, color, and material. Now, plain containers display the bloom to full advantage. Vases should be selected according to placement and size of the room. Now, the texture of the vases should also be considered. Any object that can hold water can be used as a container. Materials can be of brass, copper, wood, bamboo, glass, porcelain, plastics, etc. Selection and storing of flowers. The flowers should be cut at dawn or dusk. That means the flowers should be cut before sunrise or after the sunset. And the second important point is we should not use scissors. We should just use a blade. And we should always cut flowers with a long stalk. That means with long stem. And while bringing the flowers, we should bring the flowers upside down. The stem should be facing upward and the flowers should be facing the earth. The stem should be cut in a diagonal position. Now we can use sugar or aspirin to the water after arranging the flowers because adding sugar or aspirin will keep the flowers fresh for a longer time. And we have to wrap the flowers in a plainten leaf or a newspaper. Now flowers should be kept in a dark place or a room because bright light or sunlight can dull the flowers. And we should not cut the flowers in full bloom. That means the flowers should be cut in a bud stage. Now, arrangement principles. There are several principles that should be followed while arranging flowers. The various parts of an arrangement are interrelated both to one another and to the whole height, width, and the depth. So, good proportion pertains to one of the mathematical rules vital to any satisfactory design and is based on the relative height to width factor. So it is achieved by measuring the container and the overall height of the finished arrangement and is at least 1.5 to 2 times the measurement of the greater dimension of the containers, sometimes even higher. Now coming to the focal point. The axis of focal point of emphasis is of the utmost importance, for around it the arrangement revolves. So all the stems should meet neatly at the base of the arrangement. Now rhythm. Rhythm and repetition should be followed in arrangement. In selecting and using plant, care should be taken to exhibit the big, bold plants for major effects and the tiny ones on coffee table, in shelves, and on small window sills. Flower arrangement can be studied by observing the flower in their natural setting on the parent plant. The big flowers grows at the bottom, smaller blossoms appear above them, and buds sprout at the top. So it is lot better to have arrangement with two sides alike. One should not look heavier than the other, for should the bunch of flowers be formed together in the container. The arrangement should have distinct parts. For instance, the central part should clearly dominate the whole arrangement. Other parts should support it. The center of interest should be at the bottom. Flower arrangement should have movements. The basic movement are vertical or slightly spreading, outward spreading, horizontal and downward. Now these are some examples of flower arrangement. For this first picture, it demonstrates the repetition. And in second arrangement, we can see rhythm, how flowers and foliages are arranged in such a way that it looks rhythmic. So types of flower arrangement. The first one is line arrangement. Composition in which element of line is of first importance are known as line arrangement. Only a relatively small amount of plant material is used in order that the beautiful and characteristic line of a plant growth will show clearly. Mass arrangement. So full-bodied composition in which a comparatively large amount of plant material is employed is known as mass arrangement. The grouping as a whole and the color are more important than line interest. Line and mass arrangement. These combinations combine the best features of line and mass arrangement. The charm of color mass is augmented by line interest. The mass should not be much more important than the line element, even though it provides a focal point and weight at the base of the composition. Now floating. Flowers can be attractively arranged in different sections. This can be made in shallow boats and tray with flowers whose stem are short. The attractive and the biggest flower can be allowed to float in the center with others grouped around. Flowers should not completely cover up the water. Diminutive or small arrangement. A miniature arrangement is the one that does not exceed 5 inches in any dimension. This should reproduce in miniature the effect of a large flower arrangement. A small arrangement means one that is about 6 or 8 inches high. Now, fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are not usually combined in the same arrangement. Foliage is employed in most fruit or vegetable arrangements to give height and to supply variety. Usually 3 different kinds will provide enough interest if they are different in size or shape. So containers suitable for these arrangement may be of tree, bark, wood, pottery or metals. Dried plant arrangement. Dried plant arrangement are satisfactory, particularly for fall and winter when fresh flowers are not available. Lotus blossoms, seed pods, stalks of wheat, sunflowers, sugarcane flowers, overlasting flowers, and driftwoods can be used very successfully. So these are some examples of flower arrangements. The containers, different flowers, different styles, and different foliages can be used. So in conclusion, flower arrangement is a tribute to nature and a profound creation, an attempt to establish communication with the nature by capturing some of splendor and framing it in an individually conceived design. As such, it may also be considered an art as it invokes the aesthetic faculties of the mind. But most of all, it is the pastime that is rewarding and involving. Thank you all.